Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Gillette, recently retired curator of vertebrate paleontology at M&A, and I'd like to show you three carnivorous dinosaurs today that are in our exhibits. They're iconic for northern Arizona. And out of those three carnivorous dinosaurs, only two eat meat. So we got a mystery on our hands, and we'd like to know how that happened. Let's start with the oldest carnivorous dinosaur in the Geology Hall. This is Coelophysis. This is the site of the skull of this little dinosaur that's from New Mexico, and you can see these tiny piercing teeth. And in the drawing, you can tell that it's a fast-moving bipedal dinosaur with a long tail for balance. This is the oldest carnivorous dinosaur in the world, almost. There's another one from Argentina that's not known so well, but this one's from Ghost Ranch in New Mexico. Great name for a paleontology site. In the mural, you can see on the left side a side view of a crocodile-like animal called a phytosaur. This was a predator that got up to 25 feet long compared to 6 feet long for Coelophysis. And on the right side, you can see three Coelophysis checking out the phytosaur and an armored reptile in the background called an aedosaur. And this is the Triassic landscape we know from Petrified Forest and Ghost Ranch and all across the Colorado Plateau. It's really exciting for us to have the oldest carnivorous dinosaur in the world right here because it's the granddaddy for all other carnivorous dinosaurs. If we turn around and look at the Jurassic section of the room, we see this overwhelmingly large predatory dinosaur with a similar body plan with a long tail and slender legs and a funny head. And this is the dinosaur called Dilophosaurus. It's named for the crests on the skull that I like to call the taco head. And you can, in looking at the skull, you can see these long piercing teeth, long slender neck, tiny arms, slender hips, and a long tail also for balance. I'd like to take just a moment to talk about the hip region. These hips are narrow, the legs are close together. The bones of the hips were designed for balance and fast movement. And this was a dinosaur that probably weighed several hundreds of pounds, 300 or 400 pounds or more, maybe more than that even. And it lived right after the Coelophysis. So there was a dramatic increase in size for these carnivorous dinosaurs. I'd like to also point out the tracks behind the skeleton and the restoration in the mural of Dilophosaurus and some of the other animals that lived there. This is one of the most famous dinosaurs in the world because it was featured in Jurassic Park. It was the spitter, and there's absolutely no evidence for spitting venom in the skeleton, so that was strictly an artist's interpretation. Let's next move to the lobby, where we have our Cretaceous carnivorous dinosaur that doesn't look anything like the other two. This is the dinosaur called Nothronicus. That's a name that means sloth claw. And it's a dinosaur that has puzzled scientists for over a century until we discovered this skeleton in southern Utah about 20 years ago and got nearly the complete skeleton for the first time this kind of dinosaur to be found in North America. It's also called a therizinosaur, and that means sickle claw, and this is the sickle claw dinosaur. So this is Nothronicus graphemi, named for Merle Grapham, who discovered it, and it has broad, massive hips, powerful sprawling legs, rear legs, huge body cavity, and then these claws on the front legs, on the arms, that are like sickles. And then a long slender head and a tiny skull with tiny teeth. We know from the hips that this is a dinosaur that belongs in the same group with the other two, the carnivorous dinosaurs or theropods. But this was a carnivorous dinosaur that didn't eat meat. There's no way that that skull could have ripped apart any kind of flesh. And instead, this was a plant eater. So this is a carnivorous dinosaur that evolved into plant eating, and it's something like the modern pandas, which live on bamboo. So this is our third iconic dinosaur. It's in the lobby, and it makes a spectacular display. When you visit the museum, be sure to check out the geology exhibits and the dinosaurs. Thanks for your attention, and I hope you're a little better informed about dinosaurs today. Take care.